Hello everyone, it is Erin Floto here, and today we are setting up for May. If you don't know already, I have decided to do a consistent theme across 2025 where I spin two wheels of things that don't ordinarily go together and try to make a theme out of it. And this month I spun for watermelons and bees. Now, when I'm doing the themes, I am spinning the wheels, but I don't spin the wheel for the month that I am using. So I got to pick the month, and both of these things felt very like springy going into summery. So May felt like the perfect month to do this particular theme. I am calling it Buzzy Watermelon. So I do lean a little more heavily towards the watermelon in this theme, but honestly, that's just because I like watermelon better and bees are hard to draw. So I only sprinkle them in. In the sticker kit, I have more bees, so I will go ahead and add more bees as I go throughout the month. But I did lean a little heavily into the watermelon side of this because I really wanted to draw the most of the May setup. So on this cover page, again, very heavily watermelon. So I have this watermelon piece on the left-hand side, and I have a little bee that is enjoying the watermelon. And then I made some watermelon popsicles over on the right-hand side with the word May as kind of the seeds, so to speak. So while I'm finishing up the cover page, because the rest is pretty self-explanatory, I will give a little life update. Honestly, we are just trying to find a bit of a balance. Both of us are working. It's been really, really hectic. Our son is turning 5 months old. We are like sprinkling in some more of our parental leave, so that has helped a lot, trying to find a balance. He hasn't fully teethed yet, but you can tell he's like getting to that point, and he does have some really hard days. So that has not been the easiest, but honestly, he's such a good kid. My folks came up from Florida to New York, so it was really, really nice to see them. You know, I saw something from TikTok about being like a long distance daughter, and honestly, it is one of the hardest things, I swear. But it is always really, really nice to see them, and they got to spend quite a bit of time up here, and they spent every day with the kiddo. So they really enjoyed their time here. Moving on, we are going back into the dashboard. So this is something that I started last month, and I really, really enjoyed how it went. So I did decide to continue it into this month. So I have my dashboard on the left and a habit tracker on the right. The dashboard is essentially just 3 columns of things that I want to keep track of in the month. So the first thing is my master task list on the left-hand side. The middle is a gratitude log, which I've not been the best at, but it has really, really helped. I think just kind of keeping in mind that things aren't always a dumpster fire. A lot of times it does feel like things are a dumpster fire, but it's not always. So like keeping in mind that there are some good things going on, and I am grateful for things in my life, has been really helpful. So I wanted to keep that perspective going into May, so I decided to continue that. And then in that right hand column is my mood tracker. I really, really love the watermelon header that came together for this page. So basically I used my Cricut to cut out the letters. I pasted them in using the Tombow mono adhesive, and then I went back in and I used my Tombow marker to put in the little seeds, and I really love how that turned out. It's something that I don't know, it really tickled my buttons. That's not a phrase, but it really made me happy to see the little watermelon header on this. Moving on, we are setting up my habit tracker for the page. So as I mentioned, I do sticker kits with this, and this will be available on my website. It's not available quite yet. If you are interested, it is available as a digital download, but you have to sign up for the digital subscription. Next month, it will be available to purchase as a full sticker kit. And I am selling physical stickers again, so definitely go ahead and check that out. My website is just erinflotodesigns.com. Like I mentioned, I really liked how things went last month, so I decided to continue on with the mini habit trackers. It really does help me sometimes, like perspective-wise, to just look at a habit in one little lump sum and not try to like look down a column or anything like that. I really like just being able to look at it as if it's the month and really get a feel for how things are going with that habit in that month. Moving on, we have my favorite page in this setup, and it's really not necessarily because it's the calendar. I mean, the calendar is super useful, but it's how I did the calendar. So way back when, and when I was going through my bullet journal evolution, looking back through all of my notebooks on an earlier video on this channel, one of the things that I remember is for my Super Mario theme and doing the different colors for events that are happening on my calendar. Now, these are really just like the big events that I know about at the time. So you can see that a few of the boxes for my calendar, I decided to use green instead of red. So those green ones are things that I know I have like these big, huge events for those days. And then I did the greens like cascading, kind of like the lines for the rind for the watermelon. And then, of course, the rest of the days I went through and I did the reds. Now, the second red and the third red don't look that different on camera, but for some reason they don't look like that different on camera, but they do have a difference on the page, so I'm fine with that. So wherever there is a green, like I mentioned, that is like one of the big event kind of days. So like on the 3rd, I know that we have like a baby shower and a baptism, for example. On the 11th is like Mother's Day and my husband's birthday. So there are like big things on those days, and I really like that they stand out because I did the green on those days versus the red. So really, really happy with how that ended up turning out. And then I did the same thing that I did with the dashboard for May, where I just made like the little watermelon headers. And then I come in with my sticker kit. Again, I really wanted to bring more of the bee in. I wasn't doing that much of the bee, and I just really didn't want to draw that many bees, to be honest with you. So I really just did this 1 or 2 big bee drawings. So that is my calendar, and then on the right hand side I am doing the bee, and then I am putting in the goals for the month. I am going to have 4 goals for the month of May. I am struggling so hard in April to do any of the goals that I set. Honestly, this month has just really kicked my butt. And there's just not really much I feel like I can do about it. Like I said, we're kind of in that sleep regression mode. He's having crap naps. He's not sleeping very well through the night. I'm not sleeping very well through the night. And so I am exhausted, and goals just kind of went out the window for April. So hopefully I can get them back in May. I might go a little easier on the goals because, like, I don't know, the month before in March, I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting a hang of this. So then I went a little too ambitious on my goals in April, and that stinks. So I might try to make my goals something like literally as easy as possible just to get some confidence in myself again. This next spread is my workout log. So I'm basically treating this the same that you would for a mood tracker. I have all these watermelon slices all over the pages, and every time I do a workout, I'm going to color in with that color. And now thinking to myself that I'm going to try to make my goals as easy as possible, I really should have made the day off the light pink or one of the pinks instead of the like beigey color, because if I'm not going to be able to work out all that much, I would at least like the watermelons to be the color of a watermelon. So I probably should have made it one of the pinky colors, but I didn't. So maybe I'll go back and update that if I if I feel like it. I don't know. I'm very tired. So we have things like biceps, back. So I did mostly strength training, and then I also have like a cardio and yoga color as well. And I didn't want any of the watermelons to be just stark white. I wanted to have a color for them, so that way it's a little bit easier to track. So I did beige for the ones that I would do there. And then the last but not least, I have the milestones tracker. So this is for my son and any milestones that he is achieving. Again, it is kind of hard. He is in that sleep regression mode. He is like learning things. I don't know if I would necessarily call them milestones. I think probably at the end of the month, I will just end up calling them milestones instead of like trying to stick so stringently to developmental milestones. I might just loosen up the definition and just do whatever is like exciting for me. Like he mostly sits up now. That is so exciting. And he's like using his own core to sit up, but he can't quite stay sitting up. He's like in that weird position where he's in between a lot of milestones. So that is my entire May setup. I hope you like the theme. I hope you like how it ended up turning out. I'm actually really happy with this entire setup. So thank you so much. Let me know your theme for May in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.